Hey all, this is Anton.
I'm the Flameclaw.
And I'm Richie.
And welcome back, I suppose, to Sonic Mania, with a twist this time. We're back to check out the DLC for the game, in the form of Sonic Mania Plus. It adds a few wrinkles to the base game. You get to control Mighty the Armadillo, you've got Ray the Flying Squirrel, Knuckles Chaotix, and Sega Sonic the Hedgehog, respectively. And there's a few other things, like there's a new bonus mode in like single player and so on. Multiplayer's been jazzed up and so on. But what we'll be playing through is called Encore Mode, and I'm going to hand over to Flame to explain this because I've dabbled in it. I haven't completed it, I don't think so. What's the deal with Encore Mode?
Well, Encore Mode is basically a retread through the levels from the original mode, which is now known as Mania Mode. And it's got a few tweaks to the levels, like you'll see they've all been redesigned, at least aesthetically a bit. But the big twist here is that we will be playing as two characters at once, and we can cycle through those different characters as we go along. So over the course of the playthrough, I will be doing my best to show off a bit of everyone. That, obviously, given the way it works, it might be a bit unbalanced, but we get to see Sonic Mania from a bit of a different perspective, a bit of a different angle, if you will.
Just something that was, I think, discovered recently. I'm not sure, it might have been discovered before. Hello, Robotic, we see you back there with the fucking combi catcher from Knuckles Chaotix or whatever. The intro to Sonic Mania and Plus's intro theme, I think, is a remix of the Sonic 1 credits medley?
That I'm not entirely sure about, but what we did just hear just then, given in the original Sonic Mania playthrough you just included the standard opening cutscene, that version was, if you let the game cycle round once, it plays the cutscene again, but with different music. So that's why it might have sounded a bit odd if you're used to the typical opening.
Okay. Now, funnily enough, this actually takes place post Sonic Forces, so this is classic Sonic in all his glory right here.
Yep, so it's sort of a sequel in a way. It's a bit more distinct of a sequel than, say, like Knuckles mode in 3 Knuckles was. But, you know, it is still, at the end of the day, it is Sonic Mania again, so you don't have to read too far into the story, to be fair.
Well, that's good, because I have absolutely no idea what the hell's going on, so...
We just get dropped on Angel Island, and as you'll see, it will start to play out very similarly to how Mania did, with, like I said, a few twists here and there. Yeah, it's my boy Mighty!
Yes, Mighty is probably my favourite character to play as on the whole in Sonic Mania now, because what we'll see shortly with him is he, on the surface, is Red Sonic, but he has a bounce attack, not too dissimilar to what Sonic has in Adventure 2. When he does this bounce, and when he's in his ball mode, he also is slightly impervious to spikes, as you saw just there. He just bounces off them. So, in a way, he's easy mode, but it also makes it a lot of fun to just sort of plough through enemies and plough through spikes and whatnot.
Oh, don't you fucking dare. Oh, here they come.
Yeah, they're doing their shit again.
Oh, bloody hell.
Well, I mean, I suppose this makes logical sense in terms of a narrative of why you're basically replaying through all of Sonic Mania again.
Oh, Sunset Edition, alright.
This is actually quite reminiscent of the Advanced 3 version of Green Hill.
Yes, yeah.
Sunset Hill, which that was one of the few times before Mania and, like, before the whole nostalgia fag era where they did actually reuse Green Hill Zone, and that is probably the worst version of Green Hill Zone's name, let's be real here.
Well, I mean, you're biased against the GBA sound chip anyway, so we'll take that with a grain of salt, but I've chimed in on this. Flame obviously played the game. Richie, what's your experience with Mania Plus, mate? You ever dabbled with it?
No, I have absolutely no experience with Mania or Mania Plus apart from, you know, the playthrough that we did whenever it was. So I am very much just going, I have no idea what's occurring.
I'll have a look. Ah, Jesus. I had the soundtrack for Mania Plus on earlier and it just hit me full blast in the ears.
That was foolish, wasn't it?
The way the special stages work, these are new special stages in the Encore mode, and the difficulty kind of picks up where the Mania mode ones left off. So you can probably piece together that these took me quite a few attempts to get down.
Yeah.
I will say that for the sake of the playthrough, I'm going to be doing the same thing I did with Rush, where I'll show off the first one and the last one.
That's fair.
Other than that, I'll be skipping them, just because, you know, there's a lot of similarity here. Once you've seen a few, you've kind of got the gist of them.
That's true.
The difference here is difficulty. Like, you can see here, this is kind of equivalent to a Special Stage 7 for a lot of games with how far it is ahead.
Oh, yeah, Jesus. Okay, I've looked up the date for when we did our original Sonic Mania playthrough, and much like Sega and Sonic Team themselves, we didn't do an update until about 3 to 4 years later, because we did it in 2017.
Wow.
Yeah, and given I'm playing it this time around, it sure would be horrible if people were to compare the gameplay skill between the two runs. I hope nobody does that.
Alright, yeah, I did record the original, didn't I?
Yeah, I know, that's why there were a few fuck-ups in that one.
Oh, pish posh. And I think it was roughly after Mania where I handed over Sonic recording duties to you, didn't I?
Well, I mean, it was kind of that way to start with. It's just mainly you decided you want to get ahead with it, and Secret Rings I said no.
Yeah, fair enough.
I will say for the first couple of levels, while I'm still looking for the rings, there will be a bit like hit and miss in terms of gameplay, because I'm winging it here to try and find the rings as quickly as I can. And I kind of got Knuckles here just by the chance, because that's how the item boxes work that give you a new character. On my first couple of takes I got Tails, so I had a route memorised where I would get them all with Tails and fly up to stuff, and then I'm like, oh okay, I've got to wing it here.
Oh,
but that in itself is part of the charm of Encore Mode, in that because there is that degree of randomness here, each of your runs will play out quite a bit differently. And that gives it quite a bit of replay value actually, because you will, like, there's not too much difference in terms of the different characters, but there's enough of a difference for you to kind of feel like, okay, whereas with Sonic I would just do the drop dash and speed up here, or with Tails I would just fly. Now you've kind of got to think a bit more creatively, and given it is on the fly changing rather than Mania Mode where you pick your character at the start, it does mean that it just sort of throws you right into it.
Yeah, there's another level of strategy. You have to manage your characters and whatnot. You've got to be careful not to get the one that puts you at a disadvantage. And I feel like this is one of Sonic's biggest strengths as a game franchise. This one level concept that has a bunch of different routes depending on who you play as. And like Flame says, that offers a lot of replayability. See, look, we've got Blue Sonic and Red Sonic here.
No, can't you see that's clearly Mighty and Blue Mighty?
Alright, speaking of Mighty, Sonic Fandom Wiki, tell me the information that I crave. Mighty the Armadillo was designed by Manobu Kusunoki, apologies for butchering your name, for the free-player arcade game Sega Sonic the Hedgehog playthrough pending. He reasoned that in order to control like Sonic, the new characters would need to be animals that could have the same proportions as Sonic. Additionally, since Sonic is a hedgehog, a relatively obscure animal, Kusunoki wanted his companions to be equally unusual. With this in mind, he decided upon an armadillo and a flying squirrel. Now, I know about Mighty mostly because of Knuckles, Chaotix, and also because he was part of the Chaotix in the Fleetway comic that I obsessed over growing up. Thank you, Grandad, for instilling this Sonic madness into me. That will never leave. But it's weird, because I don't feel like people associate Mighty with the Chaotix much anymore, mostly because of Sonic Heroes, where due to the three-person team gimmick, they had to drop a character, and I guess they decided Mighty was superfluous.
Well, it made sense for them to put SBO in the speed slot there, because it, like, Mighty in Heroes would have ended up just being Sonic again, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Whereas SBO, at least they had, like, the chameleon powers that they could use, which just kind of gave him a bit of his own flavour.
Yeah, which I think was definitely needed in Heroes, considering you had Blue Sonic, Black and Red Sonic, and Female Sonic.
Yep.
And obviously there was very little between them, so with SBO there was that little bit extra, which did give it a little bit of variance when you were playing as Team Chaotix, in addition to everything else that they did with Team Chaotix.
We got Invisible Sonic instead.
So are the ring placements also remixed for Encore Mode, Flame?
Yes, they are. They're, I believe, a good majority of them. It might be all of them, but as far as I know, at least the majority of them are in different places. So if you've got the original layouts memorized, you're gonna be in for a bit of a shock here, as I was. Just because, like, there's some that are in some slightly more obscure places. That one that I just went into, they changed that around quite a bit because where the original one in this act was, they'd replaced with a fire shield, and you still need to go there to get the fire shield to get it to break into the bridge. So they've basically just done the same thing but added an extra step to it.
Yeah, I suppose so. Oh, something that just came to mind. Since we last recorded Sonic Mania in 2017, and this is a very recent thing, they discovered the original beta for Sonic 1.
Yes, I watched the Hidden Palace stream of that, and that was fascinating. Just like the incomplete levels there, seeing Scrap Brain originally as Clockwork Zone with like the most hideous background possible, and like Labyrinth Zone was a trip to watch as well because the version that they'd found has Labyrinth Zone without the water.
Oh.
And some things are just not supposed to be seen.
This whole catcher mechanic taken basically straight out of the character selection process for Knuckles Chaotix. I'm not sure when we'll do Knuckles Chaotix because that'll take a lot of planning. Because for whatever crazy reason, maybe they were on drugs at the time, they decided that each stage needs to have not 1, not 2, not 3, but 5 acts.
Yeah, well, I do have the means to capture 32x stuff. It's just a case of getting it down in a run that isn't going to fuck with me, because the level select from that, from what I would call it, is mostly random, isn't it? Isn't it like a sort of gacha thing that decides what level you go into next?
I think you can, like, sort of time it, but for the purpose of argument, let's call it RNG, yeah?
It might as well be RNG.
So basically you've got RNG, but with the number of levels that seem to be in Unleashed Wii.
Maybe, although with Unleashed Wii, a lot of them were kind of just optional or just...
Yeah, that's true.
Like, you can look at Unleashed Wii's layout and think that's a lot of levels, but a lot of them are like, collect 50 rings.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, I suppose more in terms of the night stages. Perhaps, rather than the day stages, but same principle, but yeah.
That was a really efficient run there, Flim.
Yes, that is the other reason I really like Mighty, because he makes the bosses a fucking joke.
Nice! Alright, what's going on here then? We fucked up! Twice!
This seems quite familiar. Can you guys get it right eventually?
Oh no, not again!
This keeps happening.
What comes after Green Hill? It is, of course, Chemical Plant, with a lovely, crazy night aesthetic now.
Yes, this does look really cool. I actually really like a lot of the alternate colour schemes they got going on in Encore Mode, and that did actually surprise me, because with how iconic a lot of these level designs are, and the fact that the original Mania mode took the, not necessarily the art style, but the colour schemes and that direct from the originals, seeing it differently, the fact that they were able to find other colour schemes that work is actually quite impressive.
Oh, definitely, because I mean, obviously the pink goo, isn't it? For Chemical Plant, like that was sort of the reason that this level popped. So it is actually quite cool that they managed to find this sort of green and white approach that, yeah, really does stand out.
Where's the green and where was the pink in the original one, Reg? I'm a little bit confused here.
Hey, I might be completely misremembering everything.
Play a fucking classic game, for God's sake!
I really need to... Oh, there's the pink. You see, it's the water.
Oh, you were referring to the water, the Mega Mag.
Yeah, that's what... You see, I just get muddled up with these things. Hey, Classic Sonic, I don't play them.
Well, fucking play it then. Stop being so goddamn lazy.
Richie, that didn't sound very reassuring.
You do me a frustrate. Ha! How's it feel, Flame?
I said that it would be a bit derpy until I got all the emeralds. And also notice how many emeralds I've got now compared to you wait until you got to fucking Lava Wraith.
Yeah, well, I like to go at my own pace, Mr. Activate Easy Mode as soon as possible.
Well, it's not easy mode, given I've got to do the difficult fucking special stages.
Oh no, I have to play the game! Oh!
Yeah, we're 15 minutes into a fucking playthrough and we're down to this. This is why we don't redo playthroughs that often.
Yeah, true. Well, I mean, I just wanted to hang out with my Sonic-loving mates and talk over a Sonic game and whatnot, because I gotta be honest, guys, Sega aren't saying shit right now, and I'm kind of going a bit stir-crazy.
Yeah, it's like, this is our lifeblood, we need Sonic, and if they're not going to give us new Sonic, we're going to redo old Sonic.
Well, it's not even a case of we need it for the YouTube views. We're funded by Patreon, so as long as we have those, you know, patrons, it doesn't matter. We don't have to rely on YouTube views anymore. I just want to play a new 3D Sonic. Jank as it may be, hook it into my fucking veins.
See, I wasn't even thinking of YouTube views. I was thinking of, I need to see the blue guy run fast. I have a problem.
I would go on the approach of, if they don't do something decent with Sonic games soon... I mean, not that he wasn't already sort of becoming irrelevant, but he's becoming more and more irrelevant as time passes and nothing is said. Like, Sonic is going to become a movie franchise.
You might not be wrong there. I think that might have a bit of prominence given how well the film did, but...
Yeah.
I was saying this to you guys the other day, or at least I was saying to Tom the other day on Discord, that I think they really missed a trick by not having a game ready to go when the film was out.
Agreed.
Because, see, the thing is, like, they've done a lot of nostalgia bait kind of stuff with, like, Mania, with the throwbacks in Forces and whatnot, but that was people who actively follow the games now, whereas the film brought that into the more normie kind of nostalgia.
Oh yeah.
So if they were going to try and capture a few extra sales from people who actually haven't played Sonic in a good few years, that would have been the time to do it.
They had that Endless Runner game that I forget what it's called, and they had like Baby Sonic from the movie there. I think even Longclaw was a bonus character in that, so there was some like cross-pollination there, but I assume you're referring to like a full-on 2D or 3D game.
I'm talking about actual video games, yes.
Fair enough.
Like, yeah, it's good there for Synergy just having the mobile games doing their thing, and I realise from a brand perspective that like mobile is the lifeblood of a lot of franchises now, but I feel like given what it is and what Sonic as a series is known for, if you had a game out at the time that had Sonic running through Green Hill, as much as I hate to admit it, that is what would have sold then.
Okay, this is what I was talking about. Sonic Forces Speed Battle.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. Is that dead now, or...?
I think it's still going.
I think it's still going, because not long ago there was an article that came out about how some kid managed to spend 4 figures on their parents' credit card on it. That was a fun one.
Oh, Teen Sonic from the movies in there as well. You also have, like, Treasure Hunter Knuckles, he has his hat and everything. You got motherfucking Excalibur Sonic in there.
Nice.
Eventually we're going to get Pink Gold Sonic, right, and just vary it up.
I can't believe that the mobile Mario Kart game has a better roster than basically any Mario Kart game today. I don't even think we're going to get Mario Kart 9 on the Switch, mostly because 8 Deluxe was there at the start, and Nintendo, for some reason, doesn't want dueling, like, entries in a genre anymore. And I've said this before, but like back in the days of the GameCube, you had Mario Kart 64, you had F-Zero X, you had Wave Race 64, I'm sure there's some other ones in there, Diddy Kong Racing, obviously. And now you get to the Switch, and what is Nintendo putting out? There's like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and that's it.
Yeah, it's a bit of a strange one. But I mean, personally, I would like to see a new Mario Kart game specifically for the Switch, because obviously it was a Wii U title up-resed and made fresh and fancy, and just threw the DLC in there. So I suppose there's probably more scope in a Switch-specific version coming at some point down the line, probably more towards the end of the Switch's life cycle. Just purely by the basis of it hasn't had its own Mario Kart title yet. But that's no guarantee, obviously.
Well, they've done that gimmicky one with like the little kart racer that goes around your living room, haven't they? But in terms of actual games, they have been slacking on that.
Yeah, well, certain pandemics may have slowed them down a little bit, but hey, more Puyo Puyo. And speaking of, Puyo Puyo versus Tetris 2 came out recently. I haven't really gotten far into the storyline, but it's the basic goodness. You got your Puyo Puyo and you got your Tetris.
Yeah, I was always bigger on Tetris than Puyo, but I think in Encore Mode, or at least from the patch that came out around Encore Mode, I think they have made this a bit more difficult. Maybe I've just got a bit bad luck, but I seem to recall other people mentioning that as well. Look at Knuckles there, it looks like he's trying to break out of the fucking thing!
I don't care for Puyo. I'm more of a column sort of guy.
Where is Sonic Eraser? I want Sonic Eraser! No, we're not doing that.
Okay, fair enough. What about Sonic Schoolhouse?
If I can find a way to get it to run, I'll think about it.
What about the Pakistani McDonald's toys?
What about go fuck yourself?
Okay.
We've already done one Sonic Sports game, that'll do us.
Alright, Eggman, you've lost. Just give it up. Come on. There you go.
Yeah, this isn't about trying to win, it's about waiting till Eggman loses.
There you go. Yeah. Nice. So yeah, guys, that's our first walkthrough Encore Mode in Sonic Mania Plus, and it's irreverent as I expected. We'll see you next time for more of the same. Bye-bye.